Audio everyone, Locity here, back in action for important subtraction, because as we do sometimes on this vlog, we do talk about some rather serious topics and whatnot that I am personally going through. And instead of just outright saying the whole situation, I want to put an underlying current of why I say and do certain things the way that I do. Now, if you watch any of my LPs, which I really hope you do if you watch these vlogs, if you're just watching me for the vlogs, sorry that there isn't a whole lot of content out there. And I apologize. I hope that I could get you to watch more games that I really like, especially Gravity Rush and Dragon Quest. Those are some fun bits, and I really hope that you could enjoy them along with me. I love playing games. You can tell I love a lot of these things on both ends of the situation and everything, so yeah, big fan. But at the end of a lot of my videos, at the end of streams mostly too, I'll say a phrase. Sayonara. Bye-bye. I'm sure I've said it here too. I'm sure I've said it plenty of times. Honestly, the phrase has gone to the point where it sort of just happens to be what it is. But for a lot of Americans and people that aren't like native Japanese speakers and whatnot, they don't actually know that sayonara is a far deeper meaning than just goodbye. And I'm undercutting said tone with the bye-bye as a more friendly way of doing it, but I am more than aware of what I am saying. And I say these things because I personally, on my end, don't know if we'll ever meet again. And that's what you use sayonara for when you do not know when you're going to meet somebody again, if you'll meet them again, or if you never want to see them again. I hope to see you people all the time, trust me, I do. But I'm aware, perhaps more than most, that your time is precious, and sometimes you don't have room for me, you don't have room for other people out there watching VTuber clips or doing other things like that. And that's fair. That's fine. I don't mind whatsoever. You live the best life that you live. That's the important thing. But I think it really is something important to say, in the sense, too, that I'm not always the same person that I am in other videos. And I know I'm not. I know that in a lot of ways, with the experiences that I have, the things that I've been through, and various things that happen to me, the country, things I get, things that don't happen to me, these are all things that change me. And a common thing to go about that is the ship of Theseus. For those that aren't aware of the ship of Theseus, it's basically a philosophical statement of, when does the ship of Theseus stop becoming the original ship of Theseus? Because it was a boat that kept having to be repaired over and over and over and over again, to the point where all the new parts were outweighing the older parts. So at what point in that particular situation would you say that's still the ship of Theseus? And I think that also applies to a person. And I'm not saying that as like a slight to anybody, or trying to construct people in a way that's like far more down or something. Just more a matter of, hey, we are all built by different things and objects and influences and environments and such like that, that the person that you knew before may not be the person you know now. I know this firsthand, extremely so, because of my mom. My mom has had a drastic change from who she was to who she is now. If you were to ask me if she was the same person that she was when I was 6, and now, they're not the same person. They just aren't. They have things in common. There's a lot of things that go about it, but at some point, the person that you know isn't the person that you know anymore. And that's just a weird thing, isn't it? That those people go away and whatnot. And with a lot of my experiences, a lot of things that happen and everything that goes in between that, there's a lot of interesting things that could happen between our interactions, where we personally don't interact with each other directly. So the person that watched this video beforehand may not be the person that watched the video before. Do you feel me? Just because you're watching this now does not mean you'll be the same person you are 10 years from now. And you end up watching this video again for some reason, trying to be like, someone talked about this at some point. I think their name was Lost or something. And I think that's an important thing to carry on yourself, is the idea that you change and things change around you and things just aren't always the same. And because I can't control events and I can't control everything, and because various things could happen, both good and bad, there's possibilities that you may just never see me again, especially when I'm doing these videos. This is why I say sayonara. I don't know personally when any of you people will leave. I love you subscribers for being here for whatever reason it is. Likely a friend just trying to help me and whatnot. But truth be told, I don't know when we'll meet again. I don't know if you're watching all these videos like back to back to back. And even then, stuff could happen within weeks of recording that I'm just a totally different person from what I am now. It's a scary thought, to be honest. One that delves into a lot of philosophical statements of whether or not if you kill yourself through teleportation, are you the same person if you wake up differently and whatnot? What about if you're in a coma? Things like that. It's insane to think on a metaphysics level. Just the fact that we may not be the same person from 2 days from now even. There's so many things that could happen to you, that happen to anybody, and it just changes your life so drastically. I mean, just look at various horrendous events that have happened and the way that people react to it and everything. Look at people that get rich overnight. Look at people that get famous overnight. Look at all that situation. People change, and it's hard to really figure out when that Theseus-ship of themselves is the same person or not. So, yeah. That's why I say sayonara. It covers a lot of bases, and it underlines a truth that I am more than aware of. That this may be the only time we interact, or this may be the only time that this particular version of me and this particular version of you interact with each other. So it's important to me at least, to acknowledge that to some degree. The bye-bye is entirely just to be cutesy. I'll be honest. I like being cute. Kind of one of the traits that I feel like I do actually pull off. If I don't, I'm sorry. I guess I'm funny too. That might be a thing. I don't know. The jury's still out on that. But when it comes to the rest of the stuff, you'd be surprised how literal I am. How serious I take things, and how important it is to me to convey my emotions the way that they are. Like, those reactions may be simple and easy for me to edit, that I do when I do reactions, but a lot of it is just genuine stuff. It's just me being extra loud about it and thinking about it over and things like that. And there's just certain things I care about and certain things I don't care about. Burp. I'm not sure this is the first ever burp on stream, but whatever. Y'all have a good little thing. Well, probably burp on camera or whatever. The whole situation. Either way, I think it's important to say goodbyes, and it's important to lay out a foundation of how important meetings and people are to you and everything like that. And I think the best way to say it is that I lost someone important to me due to timing and the way things interact with each other. And it was a hard goodbye, and it's something that I wish could have been avoided. But when it comes down to it, I think largely it was for the best of both parties. And I say this in the sense that it kind of felt like I was like living a sort of lie of keeping things up and making sure, saying things are okay when things were not okay. And the fact that it was more of a long distance thing certainly didn't help on the situation. And when you don't have somebody physically there with you, and you don't have somebody to hold on to while they're going through struggles, or you're going through struggles, that physical element, when you finally do feel it, it feels so validating and important that you start to wonder why you would keep it long distance. And truth be told, I'm just a far more aggressive person than I think I am. And in a lot of ways, I kind of know that about myself, and I try not to be. And it's a situation that has become harder and harder to go about things. And I try to be friendly about it, and I try to be nice about all little things that I do with my recommendations and the video games that I play and everything that I say and do. But I've had a lot of issue with it in the past. I've had a lot of problems with my friends telling me, like, you're going a little too hard on this, or like, you're so opinionated on things. And to me, it just feels like I'm being me. And I've had a lot of problems with that, with people telling me how opinionated I am and how, like, I shouldn't, like, get at somebody for this and that. And I shouldn't be arguing with people and getting into arguments and causing all these situations and doing those kind of things, both from friends and family alike. And I don't think it was until a friend of mine, Skippy-san on this channel, really showed me the importance of just back off on the situation. Sometimes you just can't change people's minds. Sometimes you can't go about that stuff, and sometimes it becomes too forceful. You're putting in everything into a triangle hole when clearly it's not going to fit in the triangle hole, you know? And it's a hard lesson that I had to learn. And it's definitely, I would say, a part of myself that felt like I was truly getting rid of something that made me me. And like, I legitimately had an identity crisis when it came to the fact that I was opinionated and I had to say my opinions. And if people don't like that about me, then who was I really? Who was I as a person? I'm not sure if this was ever like shown in any kind of recordings or whatnot, or if even it was at that point and everything like that. Because when you record and you stream as much as I do, you have a tendency to have things blur. So it really is confusing to me when something has happened. And often than not, when I look back at certain streams and I'm actually like watching them, I'm like, this was me? I said this? I'm kind of funny, yo. Why aren't more people watching me? But no, it said some things that I don't agree with anymore. I'll say that much. And I try to keep things at least to the point of not trying to anger everybody that shows up. I know that if you're a conservative person and whatnot, you're probably going to have a real hard time watching me, especially considering that I'm trans. So that's an extra conflict on your hands. But I think it's important to state that I am still who I am. I'm not the same person of who I was. So when did my ship change? I don't know, but I would definitely say I said goodbye to that part of me. And that's what I feel is the important thing to convey here, is that sometimes people change for the worst, for the better. And that's kind of what I'm saying goodbye to all the time. Hope that y'all turn out better. I hope y'all have better times in your lives. If I never meet y'all again, that's fine too. I just hope you have a good life, honestly. That's really what it comes down to, huh? Just wishing people would do that. Would have a good life. It's hard under this current capitalism system in America, but in other places I'm sure it's a little bit easier. But we all have our strifes and our struggles and various things that make us say it, you know? And I'm definitely going through something. I don't know exactly what it is, to be honest. Because I definitely feel like a big part of my ship is gone. A ship part that felt crucial and feels like something that could sink the ship. But I had to find ways to repair it and become me again. It's just how it is sometimes, right? And I'm not saying this struggle is something that everyone will face, or I could help with your situation going on, but it just helps me personally to keep busy and keep doing things and keep going about things on my own way. And we all process our situations in certain ways, and we look into things and figure out what we have to do there and there. And while I'm not particularly good at script writing, I am good at playing games and trying to figure out how to reach certain goals and trying to get better as a recovery situation, because I'm still recovering from top surgery. But we can't pick and choose when our trials come. We just can't. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming here for my little talk. And I hope that at the very least, you appreciate the moments we could have here and the moments that you have with people. And I think that's the most important thing to really look at, is the time that you have then and there. Because those feelings were genuine, right? I feel like mine were. And I want to keep them that way. Yeah. Till then, sayonara.